Sierra Leone, the West African nation welcoming the world. Alamy Long, known as one of Africa's great beach destinations. A new generation of Sierra Leoneans is eager to show visitors that the formerly war-torn nation is now safe and reintroduce it to the world. Sitting in the shade of a palm tree on one of Sierra Leone's many postcard-worthy white sand waterfronts, Momoh Bassie told me his story. "I am not ashamed to say I was part of the rebels because I was captured by force," he said, looking out over the emerald-colored water. "I never killed anyone," he added. Tote beach stores like Bassie's abound in Sierra Leone, a small nation in West Africa with more than 300 kilometers of coastline sandwiched between Guinea and Liberia. That ended in 2002, killed people and displaced 2.6 million more. The rebels captured Bassie when he was just 11 years old. He was held captive for 6 years, managing to escape and get caught again 3 times. Country's 11-year civil war, more than 50,000 today. Bassie works as a tour guide for it. One of many Sierra Leonean travel companies eager to show the world that the nation is now safe and introduce visitors to its many rainforests, beaches, and rich cultural experiences. And in the east, plateaus lead up to one of West Africa's highest peaks. Bure Freetown Golar Rainforest, Tiwai Island Wildlife Sanctuary, Outambakilimi National Park, Mount Bintumani, dubbed the forgotten industry by some residents. Tourism is now becoming a focus for Sierra Leone once again. A multi-year is underway training tourism staff, building infrastructure, and developing ecotourism sites in areas like southeastern Sierra Leone, where the elusive and endangered pygmy hippo lives. World Bank Development Project. Now, a new generation of Sierra Leoneans wants visitors to reconsider what their country is all about. A new beginning. Growing up, I would hop around Toke Beach and Maroon Island, drink coconuts, get a lobster, and cook it for lunch, said Wissam Stanger Asfael, a freediving coach who competed for Sierra Leone in the Freediving World Championships. In 2016, he co-founded an eco-resort on the northern tip of a lush trio of islands south of Freetown. Bafa Banana Islands, Yulia Denisiak at Bafa, hammocks swayed in the breeze and glamping tents were spread throughout the shore as fresh lobster sizzled on the grill. Together with his wife Emily, Asfael wanted to recreate the experience he had as a child. The eco-resort leases the land from the nearby fishing community of Dublin. Asfael buys fish and produce from Dublin and employs youth from the community. "I wanted others to experience our nature in a space where guests could enjoy the beauty of trees, flowers, and beaches," he explained. Beyond their natural appeal, the country's islands were the setting of one of history's most tragic events at the peak of the transatlantic slave trade in the 17th and 18th centuries. They became one of the main departure points to the New World for enslaved West Africans. According to the roughly 400,000 people were sent through the British trade ports in Sierra Leone from 1,501 to 1,866 of them was the most prolific. It's situated halfway between Senegal and Liberia, the area then known as the. From here, British slave traders sold people with a particular knowledge how to grow rice to plantation owners in South Carolina and Georgia. Walk through on this quiet island with a now crumbling fort, exiled by colonial enslavers to the rice-growing colonies in the West Indies and North America. Slave Voyage's digital initiative, Bunce Island Rice Coast, an estimated 30,000 people, door of no return. The Banana Islands once served as the substation for Bunce, and that history is still visible today. The community of Dublin traces its roots to descendants of emancipated Africans who started returning to Sierra Leone after the abolition of slave trade by Britain in 1807. Rusted cannons and a mass grave near the Bafa Resort hold the memory of those who tried to resist their fate. Yulia Denisiak, a creative capital. Freetown, the country's capital and largest city, is rooted in resistance to the crowded port city at the foot of the Verdant was founded in the late 18th century by formerly enslaved people from England, North America, the Caribbean, and beyond. Their descendants became known as an ethnic group whose language, Creole, is still the lingua franca in Sierra Leone today. Peninsula Mountains, the Creole's on a cozy rooftop with string lights south of Freetown. London-raised chef serves meals she grew up with, such as extra spicy goat pepper soup or tamarind pie. Her in Funkia, a neighborhood with a large fish market, creates fine dining versions of local dishes. Stories of African women. Bangura practiced law in New York before returning home in 2007 in Freetown. She founded a collective of artists promoting Sierra Leone's contemporary visual art scene. "The Civil War devastated the creative sector," said Bangura. "But we are resilient people. Our creative community, including art, music, fashion, film, and theater, is beginning to heat up. The berry that excitement was evident at Mary Ann Kaikai's regular salon in Western Freetown, where a dozen women gathered one evening under the shade of mango trees. Kaikai is the creative force behind a Sierra Leonean fashion label showcased in New York, Johannesburg, and other international cities. Kaikai echoed Bangura's feelings, saying that with everything Sierra Leoneans have been through, losing limbs in the war or suffering through Ebola, they are not bitter. Wild mango and cashew trees rose over red soil. Villages gave way to colossal palms and microfarms. This is the nation's sparsely populated farmland and cattle-rearing region. Northern Province Uli Denisiek, the striking mountains overshadowed the landscape in the town of Kabala, situated in the remote Koinajugu district. As we hiked to the top of a nearby hill, passing local kids selling cashew nuts by the road, Bassie told me that historical resistance to slavery flourished here, thanks to the many caves and rocky outcrops where people could hide. Wara Wara, few written records exist, but to the natural rock fortress of old just outside of town, where hundreds of people are said to have joined forces to resist enslavement. After the slave trade was over, the British Empire turned Sierra Leone into a. Shortly after, a local man named led another rebellion against British forces. One point, Siagala Crown Colony by Bure, retelling stories like these is at the heart of what Bimbola Carroll does. 20 years ago, he founded after seeing mostly negative coverage of his country. I felt that if we were looking to get back on our feet, we needed to show people another side of Sierra Leone, he told me. VSL Travel Today. Carroll organizes a range of trips to the northern province where travelers can stay in thatched roof huts with the local community, or to the western peninsula near Freetown to spot one of Africa's rarest and most peculiar birds. Everyone who comes to Sierra Leone falls in love with our nation, said Carroll. We are lagging behind other countries, but the world is starting to take note. For me, that is cause to be optimistic about the future. A new starting in 2019 has made it easier for travelers to plan trips. And the nation's newly established flag carrier, Air Sierra Leone, to start direct flights from Gatwick to Freetown in the near future. New solar-powered airport visa on arrival program announced plans back in Freetown. Bassie dreams of opening his own tourism school one day. Tourism brings everyone closer, he told me. The hope here is to bring more travelers closer to Sierra Leone in the years to come. Join the World Top News family today because the best in news is just one click away. Thank you.